forget to smash that like button. Subscribe. We need some subbies. Come on, you can do it. Late night. Woo, good vibes.
Yours and the black. And I sold. Morning. What's up? Yo. Yeah. How's the weather out there? Pretty sure. What about 3 times? Great having you here. Good morning. Keisha's here. Oh, geez, I missed my stuff here because I was listening to you guys and doing my thing. All right, well, there we go. There's the bubbles. Now we're back to normal. What's up, David Aaron Johnson? The P-Car guys are in the house. Kayla Marzo's here. Furious. F3 and G. Almost seemed like an effing type of deal. Tedward, what's up, Tedward? Your best pal from across the way. Oh, right, well, okay. I'll just turn these off. I'll grab a microphone and we'll do this whole thing. Kill the echo, do all the stuff. I'm going to have to start this episode with some breathing exercises. I got up very early today, and I have not stopped until this very minute. Whoop, too much. There we go. And I am very happy to be here with everybody. But how are you? I have not seen you barely at all today.
Better to see you with people.
Welcome back to everybody else. This is the Late Night Playset. It is America's favorite late night car show. It's America's only late night car show. Therefore, we are the best and the highest rated. Boy, you could probably keep going on that, right? If you're the only deal. We've got the monopoly on it, folks. Tonight's a special night, though. It is Thursday, May 27th, and that's not why. We are excited because our guest is, let's see, he's a host on Motor Trend. From the new show, which I now have memorized forever for the rest of my life, Seduced by Speed. Manuel Carrillo, the third, is here. The third, make sure there are the 3, because when you just try to Google Manuel Carrillo, that's impossible. Infinite. So anyway, this guy's the third. He's a car show presenter. He is a guy who came up to Breakfast Club, and that's where we met. And we've got a lot of mutual friends. We're very excited that he's here. Thank you. He looks like that.
Which camera am I
That's right.
into?
Here on 6
Hey,
right
there you are. No, wait, no, which one?
6.
No, I'm
Do you
pointing at
see
that
6?
one, not which one.
Can you count?
Hey, 6.
There it is.
How you doing? Woo!
and he brought the energy. Let's get our Instagram audience in here too. There we go. There's everybody. And there's the pretty girl. All right, Corey Train is here. Leo is here having a good old time. YOLO. Official Natasha, nice. Fake Zach Clapman. Wow. Now,
No way.
Yeah, now I feel like we got to turn it up a little bit. Oh, man. Gee whiz. Kayla Marzo says he's at an 11. I agree. He's talking about you.
At 11? What about 11?
You are at 11, as in 1 through 10 and one more.
Oh, yes. I think that's accurate. Yeah.
Pull that mic up if you want to. Although I'm pretty sure we can probably hear you.
I do emote and emit.
All right, a couple announcements before we get Manuel in here, which I'm actually very excited. You're here on the day. Our last two guests have been pre-tapes the day before for whatever reason, just their schedules. So it's really nice to be able to do this all in one pass and have some confidence that everything's going to work out, because the last two shows were a little stressful for this guy.
I enjoyed them. I enjoyed the Tedward episode. That was really good.
Oh,
props
thanks.
to Tedward.
You watched the Tedward episode.
I did. I watched it and I listened to it too.
I'm
I did all the things.
You're helping the metrics everywhere.
Oh yeah. I had my way with that show. Yeah, it was good.
Thank you. And then the Matt Farrell one was great, except, and now here's a programming note on that one, or a production note, I guess I should say. Now we did that show, and everything came out great in the live. Like, I can't believe how well it worked, right? And then when the live show is done, that one goes invisible. The moment it's done being live, it becomes invisible. And then I have to re-upload the show for the replay that everyone watches. I don't know why we do it this way. We just do it this way. It's how other people do it. I don't know. Maybe it won't be that way forever, but that's how it is right now. The replay that I uploaded got all concocted. I think it might be Yiddish, but it's a weird way of saying it got all fucked up. It loses sync like halfway through.
I noticed that.
Every time it's either like Matt or when Zach was here or Jeff Zwart, or like it's always somebody that you just want it to go well. And there's always coming on some fucking snafu that you just couldn't possibly have predicted. This will be better in a second. I can see you better already, even though I can't see you. Hello, friends. Hi, neighbor. All right, enough of that. Anyway, very happy to be back here live. Tedward says thanks. Oh, for being one of my favorite people. Well, I was hoping for a thanks, E2. Anyway, I have a couple of announcements. To make, and well, maybe not their announcements, but top of show stuff to talk about. I mentioned I've been going nonstop today. This morning and up until early this afternoon, I was at the Peterson all day with Johnny Lieberman. We got in. It was a great morning. I can't think of anybody better to go there with than maybe Johnny Lieberman, because he knows about every single car that's there. He already knows. He knows what it replaced. He knows what's coming next. He's driven at least a dozen of the cars that went there. He's like, well, I drove that one. Hey, I drove that one. I drove that one. Our guest is nodding his head in agreement. So anyway, he's just great. But the reason we were there specifically, in addition to the fact that they are back open and you can go to the Peterson now, and you should, membership or not, it's open. Go. There is a new exhibit down in what I'm going to call off the vault. It's not in the vault. So there is a vault tour, and you should definitely do that because it's really, really worth it. But in addition to that, this is a Luftgekult exhibit. Now, it's a little bit confusing only when you get inside, when there's some some water-cooled stuff in there. But imagine Luftgekult, the show, as a curated, a small little space. This is a Luftgekult exhibit. It's got the logo. It was done by Jeff and Patrick Jeff Zwart and Patrick Long, of course. And what's inside is specifically roof cars. And they're very, very cool roof cars. Obviously, there's a Yellowbird, but then there's some other stuff some stuff I'd never seen in person but knew existed, and some stuff I didn't ever even know existed, so it was really, really cool. I don't want to tell you everything about it because we've got to get through here, but very, very cool Porsches over at the Peterson right now in the new Luftgekult exhibit. Definitely recommend checking it out. If you've been down to the vault before, it's like in like a kind of a catacomb side room off of the vault that I don't even think I knew existed. That place is still giving up secrets somehow. I don't know how. The vault used to be the secret, right? And then if you knew somebody, you could get into the vault. Remember that?
Yeah,
and then a couple
yeah.
years ago, they made it public, a special VIP tour kind of thing. There's cool special stuff. Whatever.
Couple
Check it out.
treats.
Go check it out. What'd you say?
Couple treats.
Couple treats. Good stuff. So there's that. Okay, if you're thinking about coming out to Breakfast Club tomorrow, but please know this. Our good friend, Magnus Walker, hello, Touring Dad, says, hey, Bob. Who's Bob? Oh, he's probably, they're talking to each other. I always forget that happens. In my mind, this is a studio audience, and I'm like, hey, everybody, be quiet. We got a show going on here. But they are very well and entitled and encouraged to do what they're doing. Yeah.
There was a little bit of Letterman laugh coming through.
I'm like, what are they doing over there? You got it too, then. I heard that in you. Yeah, it's not easy, is it? Everyone thinks they can do it until you sit over here. You turn into Letterman, you turn into Johnny. For me, I watched all of them. So unfortunately, it's like an amalgamation of every talk show host from the 60s up until like 85.
Yeah, I'll get into that more when I hit the chair.
Our good old friend Magnus is going to be recording an episode of his show tomorrow up at Breakfast Club. His Haggerty show is called The Next Big Thing, and season 2 is filming right now, and they're going to do one of the episodes up at Breakfast Club tomorrow. Ironically, it's not even a Porsche car he's reviewing. I don't want to tell you what it is because it may or may not be a surprise, but you should come out and check it out to see what. In fact, you should come up just to see what car Magnus thinks is the next big thing, because this one you're not going to believe. Some of the other ones have been very, very predictable. This one, I'm telling you, is off the radar. So come on up. Bobby Bass says, 4 a.m. here, jet lagged. Where are you, Bobby Bass, where it's 4 a.m.? And I'm assuming you won't be up at Breakfast Club tomorrow for the Magnus Walker shoot. Okay. Heel and Toe Apparel, what's up? What are you doing here, Bobby Bass? Oh, all these. Oh, but he's in Dubai. Go do Dubai things. He must be in Dubai. Swanky Breakfast Club is the next big thing. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, no, sure. Yeah, you know what? Let's run with that. That's right. Exactly. Took the words right out of my mouth. Anyway, so there's that. Okay, last thing I got to mention, and then a quick video. Okay. Last thing on the first list, Michelin. When I left you all last, we were talking about how amazingly Michelin, we were able to put that together, and they said they're going to. Okay, so good news and bad news since. While I was sitting at TLG getting the parts work we needed, I think I told you guys we were doing front strut mounts and a couple other suspension pieces that we were just kind of refreshing. The car has some age now, so it needs things from time to time. While we were doing those bits, and knowing that we needed tires, presently, like right now, and then an alignment and such. I got texts from the Michelin guy saying, "Hey, so funny thing, your tires, 2 of your tires are back ordered." Now we have so many friends who are. Jens with the M5, the E39 M5, I think is like on month 8 waiting for his. I think he ended up buying something else, like some off-brand. Phyllis, my mother, I think I moved the heart, but you remember her, folks. She and her beau in life, they have a Corvette, whatever, the last not mid-engine Corvette. And they were waiting on a tire for the same reason for like a long time now. All this stuff. So I know people who are like, oh my God, they're effed on this. So I started to stress out a little bit thinking, well, the freaking one time I need a tire and the one time I get a tire sponsorship, I mean, like all of this stuff. Our guy at Michelin now says, okay, well, I have an alternate for you if you need tires now. I said, okay, this sounds great. And he gives it to me, and basically the gist of it is, and by the way, this is because he developed this program because Tire Rack and other tires were doing what's happening now, and they were buying up all the inventory, and then, you can't find them, and such and such and such. So he developed this program, but basically he goes, if you can find them someplace, go get them, and we'll reimburse you. And I was like, what are you talking about? That's amazing. That's
a
amazing.
great idea.
100% rebate? Okay. I'm in. So that's what we did. So we got the car mechanically fixed up over at TLG, and Steve did all the work over there. And so now we're all mechanically sure. Now I drive home. I'm thinking I'm going to get some tires. I'm going to get online. I'm going to figure it out. The whole thing. Pass by Ron's Tire. Happens to be a Michelin dealer. And that's who does our alignments. I'm telling you, this is all like meant to be. I pull in. They had my 4 tires, which are 2 different sizes, but they had my set of tires sitting already stacked. He goes,
That's
they were
awesome.
already pulled. He goes, are you from TLG? I was like, yeah, I think there was a different car or whatever. And I made sure they knew there were 2, so they pulled another set of tires. But, I mean, it couldn't have been easier. They got the tires on there. They did the alignment. Couldn't be happier. Thank you to Ron's Tire. Thank you to TLG. Of course, come on home and get your car some TLC. And huge, huge, huge thank you to Michelin USA, who totally hooked us up. I am so grateful. I can't believe any of this is all real. This is kind of like the stuff that we dreamed about someday.
It's very cool.
It's amazing. Hey, we need tires. Call Michelin. They'll send some. What? Buy some. Send them your receipt. What? It sounds like a brag. I'm sorry. We really need the help right now. So it's very, very cool that they came through. It's really awesome. So grateful. All right. I think that's it. Now, TBT. Maybe we'll skip the TBT. Yeah, we're in pretty late here. Let's skip the TBT for now, unless we'll see how we feel after the weather report. Because now it's time to check in with Russian weather girl Dasha for the GVBC weather report.
Thanks, Ryan. It's going to be hot tomorrow at Newcombs, 84 degrees, so don't forget your sunscreen, guys. But if you do, I'll have some for you. And I'm going to wear cowboy boots, by the way.
I have nothing. This came from nowhere. I have absolutely nothing. I think now, because of this, we have said hello to each other in person. But, I mean, I've yet to actually even get to know Dasha, and I want to. But there's our Russian weather girl, Dasha, giving you the GVBC weather report. It's going to be warm, and you should bring your sunscreen. And she's going to be wearing cowboy boots.
Listen, I'm glad someone could do it. All of it. I love it.
I think all of it's fantastic. All right. We're killing time here. Let's get our guest in here. All right. Let's see. We're going to skip. Do we decide to skip the TBT for now? It's about GVBC, though. I think it's quick. Should we just play it?
Yeah.
All right. This is a TBT for GVBC. Enjoy. Thought I could make it more clever, and I couldn't think of anything. Now our guest just got up and left. I don't know what's happened. Here you go. TBT, GVBC.
One time for my folks on the daily grind. Something special to relieve your mind. Through these difficult days and times, feeling freedom is hard to find. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Someday everything gonna go my way. There won't be no boss or rules to obey. All work and no play make me go insane. I need time to chill with no bills to pay. I gotta catch some Friday. I wake up in the morning about 1:15, and then I start grinding till the sun is gone. Now when I hear the dog barking on the neighbor's lawn, then I know that I gotta get going. Get a million red lights and punch the clock. Then wait for 8 hours till it's time to rock. I guess I better wise up for my time's up and tell a 9 to 5 that it can kiss my what? Cause life is for living, not waiting to die. And new beginnings are in short supply. So go find your why, get your piece of the pie, and never give another minute till the days gone by. Oh my, oh me, it's beautiful to be in a frame of mind where nothing worries me. So hurry, please jump to my side, because I can't stop, won't stop, kicking it live. Someday everything gonna go my way. There won't be no boss or rules to obey. All work and no play make me go insane. And you could say thank you, but never say please. Gotta make your side hustle become your main squeeze. Don't sleep on the present, cause you know it's a gift. 20 years of schooling and they put you on the day shift. But they missed the mark in my estimation. Cause a job ain't always an occupation. It's so true. I told the whole crew it's old news. Less flavor than tofu. So I grind from the bottom of my soul like soap shoes. Till my bank look like Boku Sudoku. Until my pocket's deeper than your favorite Jinkos. And I'm iced out like Rio Tinto. Until I got paper like I'm living at Kinko's. I go 24/7, not the way that it's Cinco. So everything gon' go my way. There won't be no false rules to obey. All work and no play make me go insane. I need time
how did that
to chill
work?
with no bills to
Yeah.
pay. I got a case on Fridays. I got a case on Fridays. Oh my, oh me, it's beautiful to be in a frame of mind when nothing worries me. So hurry, please jump to my side because I can't stop, won't stop. I got a case on Fridays.
Yeah. Can't stop Fridays. Not even the bubbles can stop Fridays. That's right. Oh, Rocks Montreal is here. Okay. Rusty Kids BR. Very cool model of Newcomb's you're working on, man. It's amazing. We're going to try and get you some pictures tomorrow. In fact, everybody is. If anybody can take pictures of Newcomb's tomorrow and send them over to Rusty Kid BR. In my mind, it was always Rusty Kid Car, but that's clearly not true. Anyway, go to his Instagram and check it out. He has an amazing, like 250 individual trees scale model he made of Newcomb's.
Whoa.
That he has all the cars and everything out for Breakfast Club. He bought a yellow car. He's doing up like one day, Porsche Life 111. One day, Porsche remember to take some pictures for me. No, I'm telling everyone else to. Yeah. Oh, now he says thanks, get Jay. Okay, sure. There's probably a delay. Where are you located, Rusty Kid Burr? Rusty Kid Bridge? What part of the world? And let's get you set up here. I would like you to choose. Let's get all the cameras set up. Remember, we're doing a show here. How about that? Which of these colors would you like? You don't have to choose by color. Would you like to know what would you like to know? How's
Yellow.
that? Yellow.
Yeah.
It's GG number 4, Gorilla Glue, hybrid.
That's a good one.
You want that one?
Yes,
All right,
please.
yellow it is. Liddy gets a prize! Don't worry about it. Guess spilled his water. It's like, nobody told me there'd be comedy.
Thank you.
All right, Mark, a photog joined. A genuinely autistic photographer. It's a weird thing to say, but that's what it is on his Instagram. And he's very, very talented. Everyone should check out his page. It's really great. Yeah, just put that in there.
Great.
Letterman had all these nice pockets made. We'll just use them. That way it doesn't have to be up and out.
Great.
Mordecai. No, Mordec 4I. Boy, that's confusing. Because we have a guy named Ezekiel. Ezekiel, Mordecai. What's going on here? The end of times. Okay. All right. Now, for a shameless plug in the GVBC, since that's all we're talking about tonight, apparently, it is time for you to go over to dualshift.com and check out some of this wonderful stuff. This is the sticker pack. These are all included. Check that out. And then also get yourself a GVBC t-shirt if you haven't already. Oh, look at that. You're wearing yours. Oh, I didn't need to do this at all. I love that. Amazing. You're so good. It's like she used to do this for a living.
Occupational hazard.
All right, do some cleanup and do some commercials and get our guest in here. I've made a mess. I think we'll be okay. Everyone with me? Everyone okay? Brazil, you're in Brazil. Wow, that's a beautiful model you're making down there in Brazil. All right, so everybody, specifically he needs pictures of the rock planters that are built outside of the building. He knows what the building looks like. The building's already built. Now we're looking for details around the building. And the picnic tables and or the side section where the patio is. but you can't look like a stalker like you're going around. You know what I mean? Just kind of, if you can send those pictures to him, he'd be grateful. Yeah, great, good, okay. Got that out of the way. They say we never did the breathing exercises, did we? That's what I'm missing. In through nose, out through mouth. God, it really does work, doesn't it?
Oh, I feel great now.
Isn't that something?
Yeah. Just respirate.
The Karate Kid is back because of the Cobra Kai and everything. It's so big again. And we watched the original movies, and oh my gosh, Mr. Miyagi was so stinking wise with all that stuff. I know that's not really. I know he didn't come up with it, but
Might as
his
well
his teachings to young Daniel-san, really, really cool.
Mm-hmm.
In through the nose, out through the mouth.
Yeah.
Sage advice.
Yeah.
Girls missed it, but they should watch Cobra Kai.
Oh yeah, Cobra Kai is for the girl. That is very girl power.
Yeah,
Big time.
for sure.
Yeah, I don't want to give anything away, but like some of the cliffhangers are very oriented in that direction. Speaking of Cobra Kai, they say all that separates men and boys is the coverage for their toys. Chi-Town's Cruisers here. Wax on, wax off. You got it. McGoldbound, we miss you, buddy. GVBC will not be what you remember when you get back. It has changed. St. Clair Insurance has coverage for your toys. In this case, we're talking about classic automobiles or any kind of collector car. Any car that you have, really, at this point. It seems like the automobile is becoming a collector car, or a collectible, I should say. Get your car evaluated. Values are all changing these days. They're going up. Most are going up, but the market's all over the place. At the very least, see what your car's worth, because it's not what it was last year, I guarantee it. Most likely up. With that, you're going to want to check out your car insurance. Make sure you are covered for the new value. God forbid you get into any sort of situation and they've got the old numbers and the new prices, and I'm telling you, you just don't want it. So if I were you, I would check out St. Clair Insurance. Go to coverageforyourtoys.com and get some coverage for your toys. Coverageforyourtoys.com. Coverageforyourtoys.com.
Coverageforyourtoys.com.
Oh, we're out of order. Hi, this is Jay Ryan from Late Night Playset, reminding you to please like, subscribe, and comment below. This feeds the internet algorithm and eventually us as well. Be a pal, like, subscribe, and comment below. If you're really doing Jay a favor, just tell your friends. Like, watch the show. I really appreciate that. But tell your friends. Tell your friends about it. Jocelyn's here from The Daily Show, speaking of which. Hello, Jocelyn. Oh, that's exciting. That's very exciting.
That's a very exciting.
That's a big one that you're tuning in for us. Well, forgive the smoke. That's how hot this show is these days.
Congratulations.
Tuning in from The
on
Daily Show in
baby.
New York. That's amazing. And congratulations on the addition to your family. You're right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
We talked about it, but
So
she
cute.
doesn't know that. We talked about it. It's like, that's what you guys do. You talk about it. All right. Need a lift lately? Cruising to a healthy 2021. Cruising to the second half of a healthy 2021 with Cruising to Wellness CBD. The cruise is with a Z. Jay needs a new car, and he's going to do that presently. CruisingToWellness.com. CruisingToWellness.com.
Cruisingtowellness.com.
If you don't say it 3 times, it won't come true.
I stopped myself before I had the
It was Beetlejuice, bleh, and the jaw fell off. That's what happened.
I fixed it. We're good.
God, I love that. Anybody else love that movie, Beetlejuice? Do you, Beetle? I forgot to mention, please use promo code LATENIGHT for 20% off your order if you decide to go to cruisingtowellness.com for the second half of your healthy 2021. Did I do it? I did them all. We did it. Okay, that wasn't so bad. All right, 420 says Telefunken Motorsports. It is actually in some ways over here for the missus. The other one was because it would be fire. I forgot to say that. Yeah. You're gonna want to do all that stuff about the liking and the subscribing right now. You're gonna want to click that bell and get the notifications, and you're gonna want to do all that stuff because it will be fire. Everybody's saying. Everybody knows. We watched This Is the End last night. We both worked on that movie. Or at least on the press for that movie. But I love that movie. It's completely different than I remember it.
Yeah.
And the only times I ever watched it in the beginning were with the cast of the movie, sitting between Craig and Danny McBride, or maybe it was Danny and Seth. But either way, ridiculous. Did we do everything? I think so. I have talked enough, and it's time to get our guest in here. It's been a full half hour. Fantastic, Thomas show. Dear Lord, lots of stuff. We should have skipped that TBD, I'm telling you. TBT is what killed it. All right, I'm going to do a quick break, and we're going to be back after these words from Oh So Delicious Hot Sauce. The hot sauce. Did I do it? Is it here? No, I didn't do it. The hot sauce made by bears. It's all right. It's all right. We got it.
Oh, so delicious. It's the hot sauce made by bears.
I have
garlic
music.
and serrano mixed with love and
I wanna, like, do
care.
a full
You can
bar
put it
here.
on your eggs, pour it on your rice.
And
It's
there's
raised
reasoning
on a
behind it. I'll
leg.
tell
It's
you
better
why.
on a slice. It's oh so delicious. It's the hot sauce made by
now you're not
bears. Oh, so delicious hot sauce.
No, it's
Great
all right.
on
I was supposed to do
everything
this at the
except
same time.
oatmeal.
Get your bottle today at osodelicious.org. $1 from every bottle sold goes to the
See what
National
happened is
Military
the guest
Family
started appreciating
Association.
it. And now I'm over here doing this, and now we've got dead air over there. Dead air. Dead air. Dead air. Dead air. This is what I'm doing. This is where the dead air. This is why there's dead air. All right. Well, I'm going to then put the Instagram audience over here. Maybe this is what we do. I will walk you over here to the other side with Mrs. Ryan. And now I'm going to plug you in so you've got power. I want to make sure you have juice in case you get thirsty. This all feels very Tom Green. All this is delaying the guest getting in here, too. I'll tell you what. All right. Oh, gosh, look at that. We were on that wonderful, nice tight shot of, well, you might have seen St. Clair Insurance back there, right? That's the St. Clair building. They put that in after they started advertising it with us. Things got so good for the St. Clair people that they put in that building over there. Well, the building was there, but they moved in and put that big sign up on top. Not bad. So if you want to get involved with this fantastic entity that we are producing over here, by all means, and maybe you get a building out of it. Who knows?
Buy a building.
Buy a building. It's like Monopoly. Buy yourself a building. All right. So the guest was supposed to be back here, but the guest started producing the show in the middle. So they wanted to walk in, and I get it. Talk show, you want to do the walk-in. I would have loaded some music. But in the meantime, I want to thank. Now I got to write an intro. Like I had to skip. All right. From Motor Trend's Seduced by Speed, Manuel Carrillo III is here. Come on in, man.
Yes! Yes! Yeah! Yeah, all right, cool.
Oh wait, I do recognize that. Why do I recognize that?
Hi, guys.
Yank
Oh, there,
that-
there,
yank
there we
that
are.
over
There you
there.
go.
I'll kill the echo here. We'll make sure you're good on this.
Yes, all right. Yeah.
How's this feel on this side?
Hi, Camera 5. Oh, my
you.
God, so good to see you. Oh, man.
Yeah, I can tell I can bring you down a bit. You definitely project. That's fantastic. And we got this. We got Will on camera 3 over here. This is your favorite camera, right? This is your favorite shot?
That's my favorite shot. Yeah. Hi, Camera 3.
Will on camera 3. Good
Oh,
job.
look at that.
Good
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
All right, man. We met up at Breakfast Club.
We
and now
did.
You're really here.
I am so happy to be here in so many ways, and we'll get into it. But yeah, thank you both so much for having me.
Dude, thank you for wanting to be here.
Thanks for being here.
For real, yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is all great. We're really happy. So where do we start? I don't have a blue card for you because I just figured that we would wing it.
Let me start out with talking about how I found out about you guys so recently.
Oh, okay.
So your guest from a month ago, Bradley C. Brownell.
Sure.
All right, he was staying with me for that whole week. He was here doing all these podcasts and doing a lot of walkarounds for event spaces that he possibly wanted to do for Autopia 2099, all that stuff. So he was staying at my place in El Segundo. And he's like, hey, so yeah, I'm going to this thing in Universal City. And I'd always be forgetting because I was on too many cannabinoids that week. And I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. I keep asking you every day what your schedule is going to be for the next day. But like, what's going on today? You know? It's like, yeah, well, I'm going on Live at 5 late night playset. So he tells me this the night before. I'm like, wait, what is this like? Like, you've never heard of Live at 5 late night playset? Like that should be something you know about with all your talk show enthusiasm and everything. I'm like, what the hell is this? And then we researched it, and I started watching episodes and stuff like that. I'm like, holy shit, this is the best thing in the fucking universe. So I'm like, I need to be on. I need to be on this show somehow, some way. I'm like, they'll definitely have you on. I'm like, oh my god, like yeah, they do this thing called Good Vibes Breakfast Club. You should come do it and just get to know them and stuff. I'm like, oh my god, I totally want to go. And then so the next day I meet you guys,
Dude.
and you're like, yeah, come on the show. I'm like, yay!
That's amazing. Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, anytime somebody's happy to meet you is always a plus and a half. You know what I mean? Like, not that we have like enemies out there, but like anytime somebody like knows who you are and is excited about it, like come on in. Plus, you're in the pocket. You're a host on Motor Trend. You know about cars. You're perfect for this show.
I try.
I guess I'm trying to say it's not a favor. We're not doing you a favor by you being here. Like you're the guy who should be here.
I'm just excited. I love being on podcasts, especially the video variety of podcasts, because then that's when the full personality can come out into, I believe it's camera 4. No, wait, no, it's camera.
It's wherever the red light is.
5, isn't it? Yeah. But yeah, I just, I'm not just a voice person. I'm an all-out communicator.
Oh, I see. Yes.
But the other thing is,
a lot of friends like that in Jersey at home.
But the other thing is, okay, ever since I was 7 years old, I've had visions of being on a late night talk show, but back then I was really shy and it scared the hell out of me. But there was like this weird vision. I wasn't trying to make it happen or anything, but I just had these like almost daytime nightmares. Like, oh, I hope that never happens to me one day because I can't handle, like, I don't want to ever be famous enough to have to go on a late night talk show.
Literal dreams or like
no, it was like a
visions?
just like I'd be watching Entertainment Tonight with the family. I'm like,
I'm going to be on that
and then I'd
one
have
day.
like flashes in the brain, be like, why did I just see an image of me at 7 years old that I'm going to be on one of these shows?
Call
one
it
day?
an anxiety attack.
Yeah, that's what it was. And because I didn't become, I didn't like starting to speak in front of a large group of people until I was like 13 years old. And then I went from...
Still pretty young, bro.
Pretty young. But I went from...
I didn't start public speaking until I hit puberty. Gee
but I was so shy, and then I just, went full ham like overnight. And I'm an aspiring actor on the side.
Oh, I could see that. Sure, you've got the look, you've got the like they could plug you into something now.
So
it's not a stretch.
Yeah, and I have dreams now where like I'm like at like some kind of actor role inside like a Brad Pitt lead thing, and like I wake up from that and like just feeling charged, and I just replay the dream over and over again in my mind for like the first hour after waking up.
Is that your motivation for the day?
Yeah, I have it on my dream board.
That's your Lady Gaga, like just
kind
cranking
of,
it out.
Basically.
Yep. Sure.
Yeah. So to be on this show, it serves as like a preview of that eventual. It started out as a nightmare for me as a kid, but now it's a dream.
That's what this is. Do you know the history of Saturday Night Live? Do you know how it started out? It was the not ready for primetime players.
Right.
It was really not supposed to be good. These are the people who didn't. They weren't good enough to do a show at 8:00, and that's sort of how we always. This is like the not ready for primetime talk show.
No,
and I feel like a lot of people have gotten couch time here that they've then taken and parlayed into other things because of both the experience and then their footage. Because nobody knows it's a tiny little car show. Like it looks like a bigger deal than it is.
I mean, but it is a big deal because you both are so humble, but you are becoming more and more this centerpiece. This kind of like the heart, and like a different kind of heart, like a very, very deep, meaningful heart of LA car culture. And when I went to your event last month, there was just this. I go to a lot of car events, and there's this pretentiousness that you see at all these events typically. But you go to your event, and it's just people hanging out. It's just people who just want to be with one another. And it's nice to get back down to those bare bones essentials of what these car events are built around after all at the end of the day. So thank you for distilling car enthusiasm back to where it needs to be distilled again, like that ultra, moonshine, like really, really premium $110 per bottle plus stuff.
Hey, man, can I get a hell yeah? Hell yeah! Amen! Preacher brother! Wow!
So I'm very honored to be here, in other words.
Woo!
Yeah.
That was good praise.
Jeez, buddy. You really brought it. I mean, that's a lot. I don't know what to say to all of that. What do you say?
Yeah, well, just thanks for having me here. And
well, thank you.
Yeah.
That's amazing. We're fond of you also.
Wow, so soon. Oh, thanks, guys.
No, I mean, I don't know if I love everything you said. It warms my heart to think that might be true. I don't know how many people agree with what you said, but
I think a lot of people agree with what I said, especially the people watching on Instagram Live right now. That's like, those are your diehards of the diehards.
If this is true, then what we're doing is working, because that's the goal. Not for people to fall in love with us, but for people to understand that it is okay to be a different way.
It comes from here. Everything you guys do comes from here, and that's why I'm so happy to be here.
Brother, all right. Well, 10 minutes in, we should probably get to your interview. So, now that we're both thrilled that you're here, can we talk? Let's just start with the show.
Sure.
You have a new show.
I have a new show.
On Motor Trend.
Yes, I'm very excited about it. It's called Seduced by Speed. Somebody forgot it the other day, but...
Both Matt Farah and I are well-versed in Seduced by Speed now.
Yeah.
Having both forgotten the title the other day. We both knew all about it. We both could have rattled off 4 of the episodes. I have actually, you sent a clip, a teaser for the Brooklyn episode.
Yes.
Has that already aired?
So they've all aired.
Okay.
Yeah, so they went straight to the streaming app. So
The
Motor Trend
on-demand?
On Demand.
Okay, cool.
So they went...
I actually really like the on-demand.
I do too.
Because then it's just there at your pace.
Very your pace, what?
It's there at your pace. I mean,
there,
if you want to binge it, you can binge. If you want to watch all of the Top Gears, you can. If you don't, you don't. You know.
The Wheeler Dealers too, like all of
Oh,
January
don't get
and
me
February,
started.
I was binging out on Wheeler Dealers.
On the old ones.
All
I
of
went
them,
to the
all of
old
them.
ones over the break.
Especially the Porsche 911 episodes, because Project Stork and everything. Yeah, so.
I did all of them. The 914, the 944.
Yeah.
I'll never understand that orange one with the turbo tail and all of that. I don't ever understand that. But whatever.
Yeah.
Jeez, Mike. Do you know Mike?
I don't know Mike.
Oh, you should definitely know Mike. You and Mike would probably do a great show together.
Oh yeah, I suppose. No, I met Ed China at an event once, and that was.
He's the only one I don't know. I would love to meet Ed China.
That was a big deal for me.
Is he as big as you want him to be?
He's
7-footer?
6'6" and then some.
Oh yeah, 6'6".
Yeah. I mean, I'm 5'11", 5'10", on 5'11" on a really good day with the right shoes. But yeah, and like if you go on one of my Instagram shots, it's me and him, and it's just totally like
I always loved whenever they would get a close up of the tool, because he's wearing gloves, of course, so that sort of makes things look bigger too. But especially whenever it was tea time in the garage. Because coffee mugs are all kind of like a universal size, you know?
Yeah.
So it's a really good thing for scale. And then you would just see, like, he's just his it was a much bigger mitt around the cup than Mike had.
Yeah.
It's that giant.
Well, he's 6'6", so he just proportional, and he's not like, he's proportionately that size. He's just kind of larger than most.
Yeah.
I'm such a fan of his.
No, the whole show, everybody who's ever been on that show is just God to me.
I hope he gets to this side of the world at some point, because I would love for him to be here.
I miss having him on this side of the world too, so it was nice when we did have him here for that brief period, but in due time.
I know. I met everybody after the split. I met him after the split. Mike was here to describe the split to everybody.
Yeah.
And then I've become such good friends with Ant too. It's kind of a weird thing.
Yeah, because he's been on the
I
show.
don't know how to feel.
Has he been on this show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's been here as well, but he calls in a bunch, and then he's going to be here with Jensen soon to talk about Radford.
Okay, yeah. I'm really, really into that project they're doing.
It's so funny. We're calling it one project because Radford is one name, but there are so many things they're doing that people don't even know about yet, like that are going to be. Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
It's so cool.
I really am.
And then most people don't even know the history of like the Ford versus Ferrari of like, hey, where'd you get the GT40? Who came up with that gorgeous thing? Oh, we got it in England.
Basically.
Isn't that what they said in the movie?
Yeah. It's like, it's just all from
It was Radford. Radford did the body for that. Yeah.
So storied, legendary. It's
All right. But you and your show, Seduced by Speed. Tell me about it.
Yes. Okay, so we basically take in the pantheon of automotive history, there are so many misses. There are so many Fire Festival blunders, and so our first 6 episodes of the entirety of the first season is 6 episodes, and we go into those misses, such as DeLorean, Brooklyn, as you mentioned earlier. What else do? We do the Chisetta V16, T, Marauder.
The Marauder's a good one.
Yeah. So stuff like that, and it's just each story is a treasure trove of injustices, unfair play, questionable business practices, you name it. Sometimes murder, deception, drug deals, especially with the DeLorean episode, that $20 million thing going
I was
on.
curious how much you wanted to talk about that, because you probably, if you just discovered us recently, you probably don't know that I have quite a history with that. Did we talk about this at all when we met?
So I watched I watched the Smoking Tire podcast that you did right after when they were validating the studio. And then I watched part of the one that you both were on with
Vinny Russo.
Yeah, and then we cut off.
And
then you guys took over. Yeah, so I've seen those, and then I've tried to get up to speed with
I
the
didn't
show
mean
as much
anything.
as possible.
I didn't mean anything by that.
No, I
I
know
just
that,
met
but, yeah.
one of my best. I'm very close with the DeLorean family.
I did not.
One of my
okay.
best friends. She's my sister. Is Catherine DeLorean. We know her mom. We go to their house here on this side of the country. It's hard to describe it. They are my family. We both grew up on the East Coast.
Beautiful.
Had very similar, whatever. So I'm very curious to hear how you guys covered that story. I haven't seen any episode yet, and I know what the family says. You know what I mean? And I know how they feel about things, and I know which of all of the movies that have come out that they agree with and which ones they don't and stuff. How did you guys decide to tackle it? How did you research it? It's an incredible story, no matter where you stand on the issue.
Well, what's good about that story is that there's so much information about it, and so you can look at it from the more critical angles of DeLorean and the less critical, and then you can kind of figure out, okay, what's right down the middle, and let's be as fair as possible, and let's be as journalistic as possible, and what have you. And I feel that's what we did with it.
Yeah.
I feel like we gave it a fair treatment. I was DeLorean. At the end of the day, for me, DeLorean is an inspiration, because this is somebody who didn't just have the successes, they had those gut punch ego check times 2, and so that's why I respect him as well. He's run the full spectrum of life, from the highest of the highest to the lowest of the lows, and then dying in that apartment in New Jersey in 2005, and and so that ultimately is such a dynamic life, and a lifetime lived like that is a lifetime that I will respect more than somebody who just kind of was like the silver spoon all the way through. That just wasn't his case, and so deep respect.
Oh, that was not his case.
No,
yeah,
not
you're
at
right.
all.
In fact, I think he may have always been fighting that.
Yeah.
And that was sort of the drive.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that. I mean, I grew up with an alcoholic father as well, so there's that connection there too.
Sure.
And so, the guy's one of my heroes, man. Regardless of what he did, I understand when you're passionate about something. Yeah, I'm not going to endorse breaking the law or anything, but I can appreciate it.
Did you do? How involved were you in the production of your show? Were you just a presenter hosting?
Just a presenter, yeah.
So
yeah.
somebody else wrote and researched and all that
Yeah.
stuff, and you're just. So you really haven't. I mean, you're. It's almost unfair to even have this conversation. It's almost I should talk to someone who wrote it and all the. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
like, how did they decide to?
Right. As an automotive journalist, when I'm writing articles and features and stuff like that, yeah, I do all that stuff, in the written form. But on this show, yeah.
Of course.
But on this show, yeah,
I just
came in
meant
as a talent.
I don't want to give my beef to you.
Yeah. I know.
Once I see this thing.
The producers, they compiled everything, then I would take everything they compiled, and then I would just put it in my brain. They'd interview me on a Zoom call, and they'd take the best stuff that I said, and all right, so say basically what you said here. You don't have to say it in the same words, but, basically say what you said in this bit here, and then we'll use those for your particular clips in the show, and then cut it all together, and that's how it all works out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick look at the Brooklyn episode.
Alrighty.
Which I think I have in here. I know I did it. I just can't remember where I put it. How's that?
Yeah, so here's the preview of the little 1-minute preview of what's going on in that Brooklyn episode.
All right. I got it here. Ready? Roll it, Hal.
He's been described as the P.T. Barnum of the automotive world.
And it fits with Malcolm Bricklin's showmanship.
He's made fortunes, and he's squandered fortunes.
Man, are they crazy?
I have a great attitude. He's never designed a car. He's never built a car.
Frankly, people think he's crazy for even trying this.
The design of the Brooklyn SD1 is so futuristic. It's like the X-Wing fighter before there was an X-Wing fighter.
Bricklin is willing to get dirty in politics, but he's getting into a dangerous game here.
Malcolm, let's go for a drive.
I had to keep going back and saying, I need more money.
They categorically say this is not a safe car.
You can expect this to be your 30-day notice. It's over for me. Happy holidays.
And I'm coming with real venom. You son of a bitch, you, I mean, worse than I'm even willing to say.
Oh, Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I'm in.
It was a fun one. That one especially was fun. Yeah, because he's such a character.
Yeah. Well, and he's still alive, so you can
still
talk to
alive,
him like unlike
yeah.
DeLorean.
He's been So what's funny about Bricklin is that he added me on LinkedIn like about 3 or 4 years ago. I'm like, this can't really be the real Bricklin. No, it's not really Malcolm.
Were you already doing? You were already in this?
I've been in the industry for a decade now.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Forgive me. I'm sorry.
Oh no. Yeah,
He's like, I'm kind of a big deal.
No. Yeah.
It's pronounced yogging.
So yeah, he added me a few years ago. I'm like, this can't be real. And then I asked around to some people. I'm like, no, yeah, he does his own LinkedIn. I'm like, what the hell?
Wow.
And so yeah, he messaged me.
But had you done a story on the Bricklin, or
No,
like he just was reading your?
I don't know how he found me.
Okay.
I don't know. I
I'm
don't
sorry to put you on the spot. I'm just
No.
like, that's, if John DeLorean found me unbeknownst to like being friends with his daughter, that would be trippy. You know.
No, but I mean, I was put
Heard you
on-
like my car. I mean, like, what is the?
But I was added to this show's roster out of the blue. Like, I got a random email December 19th or December 9th, 2019.
To the Motor Trend show that we're talking about right now?
Yeah. So the producer, Alex Hoff, he does the development for Hoff Productions. And he emails me just randomly at like 11:30 in the morning on December 9th, 2019. Hey, so I'm familiar with your work. Really like your personality and think you'd be a really good fit for this show we're in development with about the biggest misses in automotive history. You got time for a phone call later on? And so the rest is history after that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So somebody saw you, liked your energy, liked what you were doing, and said you'd be a good fit. That's the dream scenario. That's what you want.
Yeah.
You want every job to come that way.
Yeah. After a summer spent in Bali.
Offer only.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. So that was pretty
Wow.
cool. No,
Well,
I mean, that was
congrats.
literally what happened. I spent a summer in Bali, and then I come back, and all these opportunities just start falling in my lap. It was really, really cool.
Was there some sort of alignment that happened in your? Forgive me to get deep or spiritual with you, but like,
I'm very
did you
spiritual,
get?
so yeah.
Was there some sort of alignment that happened with you on that trip?
Absolutely.
Was soul searching or something?
Oh, 100%.
So when you came back, you were different.
Yeah, I definitely. Yeah, I think I went through 10 years of evolution in 10 weeks in Bali. Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that why you went?
I went because I had spent.
question.
Yeah, thank you. I had spent a year at Roadshow by CNET. And that was my first in-house editorial position for a tier 1 publication. And that was in my previous editorial positions, I'd write something up, then I'd edit somebody else's work, and then I would do a meeting, and then I would go do something else, and then okay, write something else. So there would be those breaks in between for my creative batteries to recharge. When I get to Roadshow, it was like, okay, first drive review of such and such car. All right, now a week-long review of this car. Okay, now go do this Amelia Island feature because you went there. You just got back from there on the plane. Okay, cool. And now
You're treated as a laborer instead of a creative. That's what happens once the man gets involved. Once the business gets involved in the creative.
Right. And so I've been a creative all my career. I started out in radio in 2007 working for CBS Radio, and I was writing the comedic promos for that station and doing all the giveaways and stuff like that.
For what station?
97.1, the FM talk station.
Here in Los Angeles?
Here in Los Angeles, yeah.
What was the call sign?
KLSX.
KLSX. Mm-hmm. Good grief.
Yeah.
You're great for radio, too. The only thing, though, is that then it's hiding your face and the rest of it. No, because you can hear the smile. You know that from broadcast. Did you go to broadcasting school?
I didn't. No, I'm
naturally gifted.
No, I have a communications degree, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have the experience of going to. I mean, it's the same kind of thing.
Similar,
you had to do public speaking. You had to learn mic technique, all that garbage.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't. For my communications.
They were busy teaching you hockey and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I have my.
Just like I was teaching them hockey.
Yeah, BS in communication with an emphasis in journalism broadcast track. That's how it worked at Cal Poly Pomona.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So it was almost built in there, broadcast track, a little finger. Okay.
Right. Yeah. So.
So then it came naturally to you. You seem so young to me to have been in this for 10 years already.
I'm 36.
You are young. So unless you started on YouTube, I guess, when you were a kid. How did you start?
So, yeah, I worked at 97.1 from 07 to 09. And then the Great Recession.
You did that right out of school?
I was lucky to be in my career job while I was still going to college.
Dude.
Yeah, so I was actually able to go to, they were really flexible with me. I'd work 3 12-hour days and then work a little bit at home during the actual full day, school days and stuff.
To make up the full
work
week.
Yeah, and it worked out really well that final year.
Wow.
And then the Great Recession hits, and we, even though, excuse me, So even though we were like number 17 in the ratings at 97.1, we were able to bill top 3 in the entire LA market. And the reason for that is because we were the only radio station in the country with its own in-house advertising agency.
Oh my God!
And so we, by creating these tailor-made solutions, we had a lot of upsellability.
Look, we're full 360, man.
yeah.
This is
Basically,
everybody's idea then around
right.
2010. Like, yeah, we could just do it ourselves.
Yeah. But we had so much overhead because we had Adam Carolla in the morning and then Frosty, Heidi, and Frank, and so we're paying millions and millions of dollars for talent.
Oh,
and
it was ridiculous for a long time.
Yeah, and then when the advertising dries up, that's the end of our station.
Is this before, you said it was still CBS Radio?
It was still CBS Radio,
So that's before the Clear Channel or whoever bought, I can't remember whatever, but it was still, they were individual entities.
Yeah, and then it became Entercom eventually.
That's
and
what
all
it
that
was,
stuff.
yeah.
Right,
but that's when they all became the full digital automated systems
that
they are
that
today.
transition, yeah. So I was like the
last
last
That's the end of an era.
Yeah, because I was going to the Playboy Mansion like 2 or 3 times a year. And,
that had nothing to do with the radio show.
But
just how he was living his life back then.
When I got my internship in radio.
What is that? Is that the universal sign for internship? Right after the Playboy Mansion?
Yeah, there we go.
Right after the Playboy Mansion.
No, but when I got in that, but I was weighing it. I was weighing the options at that point.
Scales of justice.
Yes, scales of justice. Yes. So
justice is blind. That's what you did. That was good.
So I was weighing the options at that point. Okay, do I get an internship with Motor Trend and carry scales around for like 2 years before I get even a remote chance of writing an article for the first time or something like that? Or do I go into radio and have a life outside of cars to make myself a better writer overall so that I can have a more interesting car reviews eventually or whatever? Because that was eventually the plan, get into automotive media, but let me wet my whistle, let me get this out of my system with the radio thing because that was just an obsession at that point.
Seems like you were just getting the seasoning that you needed to be you.
Exactly.
You just needed some of that experience.
Exactly.
Nothing wrong with that.
So thank you.
Do you follow your gut, like this trip to Bali and all that stuff? Do you follow your...
I act on my highest excitement to the best of my ability.
Absolutely. You're going to continue to go far. That's absolutely the secret.
I do that too. I mean, in Bali was kind of like the way of doubling down on that philosophy of like, okay,
You're almost
even to the point of like, is it more exciting to walk on the left or right side of the street? Like, I was thinking about it every second because like, okay, I am here to really double down on that philosophy so that I can, get guided to a better place in life after I get back. And that's what happened.
And whatever it was higher. You gave in to the process. It was bigger
absolutely.
than you,
I eat, prayed, and loved my way through that, and wow. And came out on the other side, and I'm much happier. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love all my former colleagues at Roadshow by CNET. I'm still in regular contact with most of them, and still very close friends with some of them too. I love all those people who work there. It's nothing against them, but yeah. I am much happier now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm glad I did that because you need to, figure out, okay, what don't you like in the industry? What do you like? And then double down on that and then go.
So career was the impetus, though. It was just the
Oh, absolutely.
It wasn't like a breakup, too.
Yeah, because
too many things. I got to get out of here.
I was working as hard as I could that entire year there. I was there from January 25th of 18 to January 25th of 19.
That's doing that type of creative grind is that could kill you.
And
it could literally give you a heart attack or an ulcer or whatever and just kill you.
It did impact my health. I went down to 123 pounds.
Dude, I mean, I know you're not the biggest guy, but that's light.
I was starting to get worried because I was so stressed out about making sure that I was getting stuff done that it was putting me into like a battle mode where it's like, okay, only eat when necessary. And I would force myself to eat, and then I'd get halfway through a meal and I'd start feeling nauseous.
This sounds like somebody I remember.
Yeah,
so her work used to do that to her too. Same thing.
And then the final month, they called me up and said, "Hey, listen, what you went over my previous 6 months of content. Okay, you haven't met your goal there in that month, and you didn't meet your goal there in that month. In March, you basically made 90%, so we'll count that one. But then in April, you were like at 85%. And I'm like,
metrics.
okay. And it was like we're basically we'll give you another month, and we'll issue a performance improvement plan if things don't meet up at the end of that month. And I'm like, to my executive editor, Chris Pauker, I'm like, listen, Chris, I've never been written up at any job in my life, in this industry, let alone any time in my workforce experience in the past 20 years of working. And he's like, no, I believe it. It's not for your lack of effort. We know you're a workhorse. We know you're burning the midnight oil, but you need to figure out how to get out of your own way. And I'm like, I'm like ruminating over it in my mind, like, okay, well, I can maybe give it like another 6 months to a year, and I'll put in like 12-hour days, 6 days a week, and then I'll do an 8-hour day on Sundays. I'll have to put myself into therapy to make sure that my weight doesn't get too low, and then I start, I was just like trying to figure out, okay, how can I survive staying in this job? And then I asked myself, and I'm like, stressing out, and I've got a 2020 Lexus RX 350 review to, reveal for the updated Lexus RX 350 that model year. I'm like, I got to finish this, and I'm trying to I can't think right now because I'm like, my life is ending basically.
Yeah.
And then I asked myself the question, about an hour after that phone call, what if I were to leave? And I never knew the human physiology was able to just turn on a dime like that, because I went from doom and gloom and death and destruction in my brain to just calm, serenity, green fields in Ireland, and the sunshine wafting through and the bubbles streaming down my nose.
Just sounds beautiful. That sounds perfect.
And I'm like, okay, I think I know what I'm doing.
Wow.
And I called up my buddy who had been there from February to May of that year, and I'm like, tell me everything you know. I'm about to give my notice at work right now. And
you even knew where you were going already.
Yeah, because a few weeks earlier I was talking to my buddy Stuart, and I was like, hey, so really...
What are you doing here? Stuart!
Stuart! What are you doing here? I love that skit. So, yeah,
sorry,
thank
buddy.
you for giving me that. But yeah, so I call up Stuart, and he talks like that too, and he's from North Carolina of all things. Anyhow, but so yeah, I'm like, yeah, tell me everything you know, and I called and I gave notice that day, and I'm like, yeah, let's put a bow on it and make my last day my first day. It was exactly a year to the day that I ended up. But yeah, that.
So you were just like, remember that performance review thing? Let's just fucking shove that up your ass. Let's just do that instead. Here's my 2 weeks.
And my executive editor was like, Manuel, no. I'm like, listen. Like, my writing skills got way better in that year at CNET. I mean, I was working with the best of the best of the best, and I was being edited by
with
the
honors.
And I was being edited by
Sure.
but I mean, it felt like the military to me. It was like,
Totally.
it was West Point to me. But those skills, I was telling Chris Packard, I'm like, my skills that I've learned here in this past year will last with me for the rest of my life, and I'll never forget any of you for that for the rest of my life. And so I say this with every fiber of passion in my being. I fucking love you all, And
I'm out of here.
But no, and I had a month left after that, and I burned the midnight oil like crazy. I wanted to end on a good note, and my last feature for them was I got to build the final batch of Volkswagen Beetles down the production line in Puebla before that ended. And
that's amazing.
And so Chris calls me up like a couple days after that publishes. He's like, Manuel, this is like a major breakthrough in your writing. Like, this is easily the best feature you've ever written for us. I think that we've done our work with you, and I'm so proud of you, and I really can't wait to see what you do moving forward. So,
adios.
Yeah, so I ended on a good note, like I always try to do, and I love all those people there. Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah.
Dude, good for you.
Yeah.
Your energy is amazing. Is that intentional, or did you find it in Bali? Were you always this way, and you find it and you lose it? Like, what's your deal?
The hardship in my life, I think, has made me kind of make I strive to be as happy and upbeat as I can, and just try to keep the positive thinking going. And I'm not the best at it, and I have my negative moments. And March 11th was the darkest day of my life, and I don't want to get too into it and depress everybody, but
this recent one?
Yeah, this year, yeah, because I didn't work the first 3 months of this year. I had such a successful 2020, and the show was hitting, and I hear it was popular on the app, and I hear it's popular on broadcast too. But yeah, the show was hitting. I was doing reviews for Amazon vehicles, and that was paying a lot of money, and Bezos money. So that was really nice. So I had 1 to 3 reviews.
Literally Jeff Bezos money.
Yeah, and I was doing like 1 to 3 review cars a week, and that was just. I mean, like, that was the most money I was ever making in my life. And as a freelancer, no less. And I had the TV show, and I was just like
looking good.
Stuff was hitting that year.
Yeah.
And then December 31st, 2020, that ends at Amazon, and Rob Report, which was formerly my primary client, they froze their freelance budget like last October, and so. Yeah, it got scary.
Everything dried up quick.
Everything dried up. Luckily, I had unemployment, but that got delayed, and so. When I realized that unemployment was going to come in March and was going to come in May, and so I started spiraling. And
that's easy.
I did have to.
What am I going to do? Your human takes over. Oh no!
And
it's not all going to work out.
I had never, I've gone through the regular spectrum of normal human emotion in my life all these like all these years, like, the sadness, the deep sadnesses, the high happinesses, and everything in between. And so I've known that, but that was the first day I've ever experienced true depression, where I was completely numb, and where I don't want to get too dark, but I know that you guys like to. I don't mind talking about it. I just,
Hang on, we don't like to anything. Just shit happens on this
Shit
show.
happens.
And people start talking about.
No,
things.
but you guys are real. I know you guys are. It's like
it's a safe place.
It's
if
a safe
you want to
place.
share, great. But I don't want to pull
I'm happy
anything
to
out
share.
of you.
The reason why I want to share this information is because if everything that I went through on March 11th, on that darkest day of my life, could be the blueprint for somebody surviving what I went through as well, then it was worth it. Even if it was just saving one person's life, it was worth it. But I had to employ the suicide prevention hotline on March 11th.
Wow.
And I spent an hour and 11 minutes, ironically, because that's a big number for you.
Yeah, it is.
I spent an hour and 11 minutes on the phone with the lady on the other end, and I didn't necessarily feel better afterward, but it allowed me to start to kind of work through what I was going through.
That's what I was going to ask you. Did you call because, hey, stop me from doing this because I'm going to do it right now? Or, hey, I'm having these thoughts which I've never had before, and I need you to tell me that I should stop having them. That kind of thing.
So I made the promise to myself years ago because even though I had never gone through anything like that before, I knew that it was a possibility. I wasn't going to rule it out. So I made the promise to myself years ago that if I ever started thinking about the actionability side of things, that I would call the hotline.
Wow.
So I'm sitting in bed on March 10th. No, it was March 11th, yeah. So I'm sitting in bed March 11th, and I'm just like thinking about, because the day before I realized, oh man, unemployment's not going to come in the time frame that I thought it was, and so that was already in my brain for 24 hours. But then, like, I was starting to think about it again. I'm like, oh man, like, okay, so, and like 2011 was a financial hardship year for me. It was the peak of the recession for me personally. And I was just like, man, do I have to go through this again? Like, I thought I've already learned this lesson. I thought I went through this class already. Why do I have to go through this class again? I don't have to go through this class again. Like, why I am in control here. I decide, you know what? Let's figure out I need to figure out a way how to make this stop.
Yeah, I left CNET when it got to be too much. I just left.
But what was crazy about it was that at that point, once I start kind of making these justifications in my mind, there's no emotion at this point.
Oh, that's frightening.
And that's when, that was uncharted territory for me.
Is that sociopathic? Once you lose the emotion, what is that called? I forget. I don't know how they all the terminology.
Yeah,
but you're not yourself at that point, right?
No, it began like there was no emotion with it. It was just like, this needs to be done. I need to open a new tab on Google Chrome and figure out what I need to do today to make this happen. And
that's like self-destructive. Like,
yeah.
Okay, this is we've begun the countdown.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, that's not good. Okay, I was seconds away from opening up that tab because I was in my mind. I'm like, no, I'm going to open up a tab, but I need to find out what the suicide prevention hotline is, and then I need to just spend some time with them on the phone. Yeah, and I'm glad that I did, because in the 35 years of life before that, it always kind of felt like I was forced to be here. And like one of my therapists says that, it's a good thing that newborns don't have nails when coming out of the birth canal.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh, no!
Yeah, nobody wants, yeah.
Yeah. But now, March 11th, 2021, I can point to a day in my life where I actually chose to be here. And so there's a lot of celebration from that just alone. And so I was in Hawaii recently, and I was using that partially as a celebration of choosing life. So.
What island were you on?
I was on the Big Island.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it more than Oahu because I went to Oahu in 2004. So yeah, Big Island.
Like Oahu. We're Kauai people. We got married there actually. Yeah.
Oh, did you? Okay, yeah. Very cool. Yeah, that sounds exciting.
Not to make it about that.
Yeah, no, yeah. But
your story's real interesting. Let me tell you where we got married. It was at Shipwrecks Beach on the south shore of Poipu.
But it goes back to your original question about my natural ability to be upbeat. It's because I knew I had. We all have our shadow. And it's not me trying to run away from the shadow. It's just me trying to make the most of knowing there is a shadow there. And
acknowledging.
It's like, okay, but I'm going to choose to be the brightest part as the antithesis of the shadow that's within me that I can't turn away from. And I'm going to embrace it, but I'm going to embrace it by being the brightest beacon of light that I possibly can be.
Amen. Yeah, I don't think you can do more as a human. I think that's the point. If we all did that, there wouldn't be any problems.
Jay, I'm just trying to do my best.
You're in the right place, man.
You know?
My gosh, we just went flying there through a lot of stuff. Let's see.
Well, thank you for having a forum to let me talk about that. Cause,
oh my gosh, you're very welcome.
Thanks. Yeah.
Is it, other car shows don't like to talk about suicide? Is that
You know, I just like I've
bring it here, man. This late night car show loves it.
I mean,
In
ultimately,
fact, call me next time if in case the suicide number is busted. Call me.
Yeah, I
Not that they go down very
No,
often,
no.
but hypothetically.
But yeah, I mean, and like I said, I didn't really feel better, but at least I had that way of getting through it in that first hour and 11 minutes, and then I hadn't smoked in like a couple days before that, so I'm like, all right, after what I went through, yeah, I need to medicate myself and just get through this, and I spent the next couple days in bed just kind of realigning, and then I slowly but surely climbed my way out of it and got the counseling I needed and did what I needed to do to be a good steward of my own mental health. So
I think you're great. I think you're great as long as you keep remembering you're great. It seems like you know you're great usually, but then there's sometimes when you're not so sure.
What it came down to, I think what a lot of the stuff that fueled it was just this complex that I've been dealing with all my life of not being good enough.
Yeah, but that's the imposter syndrome. We all have that too, and it doesn't matter where you got it. You have it.
Yeah.
So, but that's your battle.
That's
like
my
that's
own
your
battle.
choice.
Yeah. And so,
as long as you know that you don't have to feel that way if you don't want to.
And that's why I get the help that I get and remind me, okay, do I love good enough? Sure, damn right I do. Am I loved? Well, yeah, I think so. So
Amen.
Yeah.
As long as I kind of and doggone it, people like me.
Exactly.
And
it's
people
my
do
Smalley.
like me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. So, but no, I mean, ultimately, it's a vulnerable story for me to tell, but again,
now you're going to be okay after this, right? You're not going to be, oh my God, I shouldn't have told that story on the show. Now what am I going to do? And you're going to be on the thing again. You're like, oh my God, what am I doing?
Okay, so the funny thing is, like my most recent appearance on Shift Talkers was February 11th. We filmed that. It didn't end up airing until March 23rd after I had my little episode. But what's funny is that I knew that, like, okay, we're still in the middle of the pandemic. I need to talk about mental health. I had just got my KEXP t-shirt, 90.3 KEXP FM in Seattle, and one of their big slogans is "You are not alone," because mental health is a big thing up there.
Oh, I thought it was because of all of the alien sightings up in Seattle.
No, so yeah, they're big on mental health, and so I got that shirt like just a couple days earlier. I'm like, hey, I want to wear this shirt and talk about mental health and supporting public radio and stuff like that.
On the show.
On the show, yeah, and they were the producers of Shift Talkers were graceful enough. I didn't expect to get this, but they gave me a minute at the end of the show. I'm like, hey, support public radio. You are not alone. I know things are going are really heavy for a lot of people right now, and so hey, if anybody wants to follow me on Instagram, MC3 Films, you can always talk to me if you're ever going through a hard time, because I know people are going through stuff right now, and I just wanted to be an advocate.
Sure.
Did not know that exactly 1 month later I'd be going through that myself, but I knew that I had the potential to, even though I hadn't gone through it before. So yeah, I'm glad I ended up saying that, and so that ended up airing after I had my thing, and
How do you feel now, having just talked about it here?
I mean, it's a
and then telling even that story about the other show. I mean, how does that feel now, having a little bit of that out?
It's vulnerable, sure, but it's worth it. It's worth helping other people out. The reason why I love you both so much is because you're so much about cultivating community through what you do, through your passion, through your love for our shared love for the automobile.
It's very important.
And you wouldn't be doing GVBC every Friday if that wasn't the case.
Correct.
So
we can't stop it now. It is something.
No,
we could stop going up there and bringing
and
donuts.
It would just keep happening.
It's going to keep.
It would keep
going,
happening.
Yeah.
So I am all about building community however I can, and if my struggles can be channeled into something positive, like building community better and having somebody randomly reach out to me like, hey, look, I've been having some struggles in the past couple of days. I'm like, hey, let's talk about it, man.
Yeah.
Just, let's DM back and forth or whatever the case may be.
Whatever keeps you on the line.
Absolutely. I want to be that advocate for people. I just want to help because I've been through it. I've been through the darkest.
Do you think the suicide hotlines have the the type of metrics that we do? Like, all right, well, we kept this person on for 23 minutes.
I bet they do.
Kept their attention for 23 minutes. All right, 44 minutes. Margot in the other room's got an hour and a half as her average. But you want it should be short, right? You want to, but I guess not, because you want to, I don't know how that works. And nor do I really want to think about it, I guess, because it's not that funny. But
well, back in 2004 and 2005, I was a credit card collector. For people who were only like a month behind or like month to 90 days behind, it was like the really light stuff.
Hey, just a reminder.
Yeah. I was working for City Cards, and But we had, our timers and our metrics, and
What
we
year
had the
was it?
metric reports. That's 2004.
Oh, that's a
so,
long time ago.
So if that was going on in credit card collections all those years ago, it would have to be happening in suicide prevention hotline call centers today or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know,
in the 911 system too, so I'm sure it's probably everywhere.
Yeah,
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right, well, this is very interesting. I feel like I've gotten, but you're local, right? You live in
I'm
town.
in El Segundo, yeah.
So, yeah, right. That's right. I keep forgetting. It was Bradley. I left your wallet and the whole thing. Stupid joke. I worked in Manhattan Beach for years and years and years, and a really good friend that I made on that show used to listen to the damn band that had that thing, and it was always in the and it doesn't matter. But you know how you move someplace new and like El Segundo, you got to learn how to memorize that into because it's words you don't recognize. Okay, I finally got it in there. Now I'm riding around in this doofus's truck with his fucking tape deck playing. Oh, left my wallet in El Segundo. I'm like, what is with this place? Why is it famous? I've never heard of it in my life. Again, another peek into the window of Jay's mind. Sorry. Is there anything that we've gone long because of course I went long,
like
and then that was a bit of a dog leg.
Yeah, I feel like I've been here 5 minutes, so it's like.
I guess what I'm trying to say is you're welcome here anytime. You should just come back whenever you want to, kind of
I'd
thing.
love
Like
to. I have so much to talk about.
That's kind of what I'm getting at. If you want to do that stuff, if you want to contribute in some way, just know that you're the type of person who can be as much or as little a part of this as you want to be. You got great energy. I really think you're a super solid person. And
just what you do here is meaningful to my dreams, as I told you earlier. I hope to eventually be on.
I hope there are any
TV.
left. Me too. I used to work on all those shows.
I know.
I hope that
Back
there's
in 99.
one. I hope one day there's a time when I can actually go back too. The thing is, they're going away little by little.
A little bit.
I don't know how long Stephen Colbert is going to be in that big theater when they move back in. They should give that thing to AGT and move him to a little studio.
Yeah.
It was that theater was a mistake for Letterman too, and I'll talk to him about it when he gets here.
Interesting.
That's my opinion. Anyway,
to be.
And another thing, I'll tell you something else.
To be touching this desk is just like, oh my god.
Oh, that's cool, right?
Yeah, because this is the Barrymore desk,
It is, and for me, the Bill Murray spray painted Dave on the front the first night.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
No, I mean it's all of those things.
I didn't know that was part of that too. But yeah, obviously because it was a '90s desk. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that we need to plug? How do people? Let's start with this.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here. You've been a lovely guest. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
How do people follow you? How do people keep up with you? Your Instagram, I guess.
Yeah, MC3 Films on Instagram is the best way. I'm on Twitter as well at MC3 Films, but I don't really Twitter much. I just it's like crickets there for me, and I just don't get excited about it. But then on Instagram, it's a natural match with everything. And people eat up because I'm always like filming myself because I'm a ham and I like being on cameras. I'm like, hey, this is what's happening today, guys, and then people eat it up. So I keep doing it. I indulge people.
I didn't know you were hammy, but I can totally see that, and you could totally lean into that if you wanted to. You could be the hammy guy. You could. What's it? Everyone always talks about him, and I don't watch him or listen to him. Fee? Is there some guy called Fee? No, that's not it.
I know Auntie-Fee.
Shmee.
Oh, Shmee. Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Okay, great. Fantastic. Moving on. All right, so Instagram, Twitter. You're on YouTube, you said?
I have a bunch of car review videos from a few years ago on YouTube, but I'm done.
Not present.
I'm just over editing my own videos and.
I understand.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being here. You were a lovely guest. And seriously, do come back anytime you want. The other stuff we have to talk about is tomorrow. Magnus will be up at GVBC, like I told you. You'll be there too. And Man will be there as well. Okay? We're all going to be there. We're going to be there. Magnus will be there. Shooting the next big thing. And you've noticed we've had a lot of automotive guests lately. We've been away from comedy. Next week is Comedy Week, so come on back. We've got Greg Grunberg on Tuesday and Rob Corddry on Thursday. Should be very exciting. Greg Grunberg I used to work with on Felicity, but you know him from the Star Wars movies. He was the pilot in Lost. He's in everything. You know this guy.
He's in Heroes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Heroes. Yeah, he totally blew up on Heroes. He was on Alias, too. He's been in everything. He's really, really talented. Very funny guy. He's also in a band, and he's got a studio around the corner that he wants us to start broadcasting from. I don't know. We're going to talk about all that stuff. And then Rob Corddry, host of Top Gear, former client of yours. We used to know very, very well. We've traveled with... I got to find that picture of all of us, that group shot, so I can bring it up on the show. Yeah. You won't believe. In fact, here's a little teaser. I'm going to show you a picture of our old life. People don't really understand like what we used to like. the circle we used to be around. This one picture will pretty much sum it up because it's two people you know that no one else in the world would in this picture of like 50 people. It's great. And that's it, right? We're good?
Yeah.
Love you. We love you.
I love you.
I hope so. I feel like we shared a lot today.
Verify.
I feel like I've really gotten to know you.
Yes.
And we all love you at home. Thank you on Instagram. Thank you on YouTube. Have a great weekend. We'll see you out there.
Bye, y'all.
Love one another. Bye, y'all.